with the purpose of entrapment. Yes, they tried to fraud me. The judge tried to fraud me. The police tried to fraud me. Whatever. Because under law, fraud's illegal. Got a couple things to unbox here. So that would make the entire case get dropped. First of all, the case wasn't even that big to be pushed the way they kind of pushed it. It was like some small little assault with a pepper spray case. It wasn't even a real gun case, and they were acting like it was a murder, and it wasn't even close to a murder. It wasn't even close to even an assault, because it was a running away to get away from some attacker guy that couldn't afford one of these belts himself. You can buy these on Amazon. Warning. You got to keep these away from children, but you also got to keep them away from other men. This is my belt. I'm the owner of it. Yeah, it costs $14 on Amazon. I got a new Samsung Bar Plus. They're not too expensive. I think 20 or 30 bucks on Amazon. It's 128 gig flash drive. What am I going to do with it? Well, I'll probably end up putting Windows 11 on it, because I need to reinstall Windows 11 on my HP Gaming. I can pick it up. Yeah, my HP Gaming's down. What did he do? Well, I accidentally set my firearm. So here's a rule, or thing that you probably never knew. I had my firearm sitting right here, and I accidentally left it overnight. Well, first of all, you shouldn't even put it there at all. And I just heard it talk, and it's a talking device, and I never knew that. But boy, did we work hard. Boy, did we work hard for the past 2 years. We got a lot done. And, well, we still want to buy a car. So that was the goal, that this i7 was going to be able to get me my new car and all that. Did you know that? That personal computers, that's the whole point of the personal computer. You get it, you're able to get on Amazon, you're able to access your investor bank, you're able to do all the stuff you ever wanted to do. Just like the Americans. That's what a lot of the Canadians think, right? Just like the Americans. Yes, I got an O-light with the laser. That was a famous thing. I remember when Chief Keef and all that, they first got their lasers. And it was a big thing. Like, oh, he's got the laser and all that. Yeah, I'm a guy that has the laser. All right, he got that famous. Because I came from nothing. Where I came from, it took years to dream. Those guys were like gods. It was like I could only dream to be able to one day buy a laser. Well, actually, I remember I dreamed about just buying a laser, and then I learned that you could attach it to a firearm, and well, it took so long to get it. Anyways, but I got it, and it ain't as easy for some people. It's easier for others, but whatever. And I don't have the firearm Chief Keef has either. He's got some freaking gigantic rifle. X-ray proof. So if you think I got the same money as Chief Keef, because some people do, no, StacksAMilli doesn't have the same money as Chief Keef. Chief Keef has more money than StacksAMilli. We got X-ray proof, we got magnet proof, we got shock proof, we got... Because some people think people try to rob me all the time. They think I have the same money as the Migos or something. Like the local police force, Saugeen Shores. I mean, they've committed multiple crimes against us because they think I have money like one of these Americans, and I don't, because I'm just a Canadian. And I got sponsored by the Americans. The Americans, they thought I looked, I fit their personality demographic or something like that at one time or whatever. And then they allowed me to go to the United States. And that's why I secured some of the education and the other sponsorships and all that. How does this thing work? It's like a USB stick, but the USB is inside the I'm not sure how that's going to work. USB 3.1. Oh my God. I think it may be some kind of new USB 3.1 where it's a female USB connection instead of the male. They've changed it in USB 3.1. And now it's a female connection. I don't have USB 3.1, so what the heck was the point of buying this bar thing? I guess I'll have to get USB 3.1 and all that. Yeah, I need to cut my fingers on that. Nails. Samsung, that's a really good brand. Always been a big fan. What other Samsung? I got a phone, Samsung phone. And they're a good brand, but it's just a company that manufactures certain electronics. I remember when I got obsessed with their Samsung phones. They're still just like this Asian company though, but they're a really good company. But when it comes to their support of the phones, believe it or not, even when you buy one of their expensive phones, like I think I paid $2,000 for the Samsung Galaxy or whatever, and there's hardly any support for that or whatever. Like to get replacement parts, you got to go to like a phone doctor and all that. But that's who Samsung is, and generally they don't break down. They're like really good electronics. But I remember for a while when I first got into Samsung. But you know who is that company? Apple. Apple with the iPhone and the MacBooks and blah, blah, blah. That's who they are. Got a new belt. That's cool. I haven't had a new belt since what? I don't know. Well, no, since the belt I got on now. But before then, well, no, in Brampton, before Judith Esposito had robbed me at gunpoint for my belt, I had a belt. So look, he's got another belt, Judith. You gonna come steal it again? Because I tried to charge Judith, but I guess, well, if you didn't know, police, they are exempted from the law. They can rob you, be Nazi, do murders, kidnappings, and all that, and they don't face any prosecution or charges. It's only us Jews or whatever they're saying. So that is the law right now, if you didn't know. So I saved up my money and I bought some clothes out in Brampton. I think about $300 worth of clothes out in Brampton. And I got robbed and almost killed by some probation officer that I trusted. I went and, well, I had to go to scheduled meetings. But no longer. No, not that. I mean, once you do a robbery and you home invade the place that I'm renting and all that, you kind of lose your trust altogether, because that's kind of what it all was based on. My plea agreement. It was a trust. It was not just a one-sided plea agreement for the prosecution. I mean, I'm not a slave. I mean, there's an agreement. I don't have to just turn myself in. I'm an innocent person. It was supposed to be a fair and equal trial or whatever, and they've done their best on making it not fair, not equal, and just really a total loss for me, even though I didn't do anything except buy a belt on Amazon. These were the same ones that were against Amazon in Canada. They just didn't want it. It was going to ruin their business. They didn't want none of that American stuff. And then they try to put it on me, like I'm the anti-American. Well, I'm the one that's working every day with the Americans, being an American myself and everything. So that's who they were. But they made off like bandits, and they'll be probably coming for you too or whatever. So get your lawyers and all that ready or whatever, especially if you're if you went from ground zero when it came to your wealth and you're trying to get up to somewhere else. I don't know what the hell you're going to do. Just watch StacksAMilli, because you learn something about probation officers. They're not somebody that you want to invest in. Don't invest your time, don't invest your money, and don't invest your love into probation officers, police officers, or the military officers. Unless you are a fellow officer, that worked with that person for years and years and years, I wouldn't go near them. They got their whole own, like, I've always been the type of person, like, hey, I'm eating my McDonald's, I might turn on World Star Hip Hop, but then you realize, like, Tom, you're a rich person and you're turning on World Star Hip Hop. But you know who those people are on World Star? Those are poor people. And they're doing their best. I mean, they're doing their damnedest. And guess what? To suck you into it. And even those poor people, they got investors. And they're like, hey, this rich guy, in the state of Tennessee or the state of Kentucky or the state of whatever, or even up in Canada or wherever, he's watching your videos and all that. So then they start investing and they're like, all right, I'll throw $50 if you go fuck with this person to make them do this. You know, like they just wrap y'all up in it. So just stay away from it altogether. Yeah, I'm a big man, so he's got a big belt and it stretches. So I like these ones. They're on Amazon. They're like a stretchy belt. It fits. They look nice. It's casual, but also it's dressed. It's professional. Keeps your pants up. Keeps everything in line. Makes you feel safe, secure. You know what's a funny thing? Never did I ever once see the police. From 1993 all the way until 2017, I never met any police. Until they conducted a robbery on me in Teeswater. I'd never ever dealt with the police ever. I don't even know who they are. I mean, they just know who I am. You know what happened? There was all these young police. And they grew up watching me and learning from me and all that. And how about you and all that? They learned from us. And then, well, they grew up quick, eh? And they got their service weapons. And you got to watch them. Because they're just, remember how hungry we was? Well, that's what I always say. Remember how hungry I was back when I was 18? I was hungry, you know. You would have maybe did this. But I never did the bad thing or whatever. But some of them, they're young and they're making their decisions. And some of them are choosing the bad thing. So watch out, right? Like 1 minute you're 18, next time you're 30. And that kid that used to be 8 years old and his mama was smoking crack or something, he became a cop or whatever. And he's got some weird thing in his crackhead heart or whatever because he's a crack baby. And usually those are police officers and all that. They went for their 2 years police foundations. They got given their free handgun, their free truck, right? They don't own the truck. It's just the truck. She's in it for 20 minutes and hops out, and he's in it for 35. Maybe, I got the truck the whole day. Oh, this is my truck every day at work or whatever. But you could lose that truck. My dad used to have a work truck too. He lost it. With the same attitude. Coming and fucking with me. Had to hire the lawyers. Government shunned him down. Hey, man, just because I make videos and you don't. I mean, right now it's the Dell computers. I mean, they was trying to make me look like I'm guilty because I saved up my money and bought some Dell computers. So this is the war between the junkie zombies and then the actual person that's working. That's why I just quit the marijuana. He's not even smoking now, and I feel great. Actually, this morning I felt real good. Real good. Detoxing off that marijuana, and then he also has to detox from his self-touching. And that same thing happened to Justin Bieber when he put on his chastity belt. Man, oh man. I think it was a good, if you want to talk about that, man, this is an 18-plus channel, so beware. And, well, it's not all 18 plus or whatever, but sometimes I do talk about, like, sort of 16, 17, or 18 or over, like, health education and all that. It's like, yeah, he's trying to refrain from masturbation. It's a real bad thing, I'll tell you. It's the reason why I'm completely overweight. It's the reason why I lost a lot of deals and a lot of other things. Relationships, too. But at the same time, it's kept me safe. So, with a moderate amount, is how I see it. But it got to the point where it became over moderate amount because I was being taken advantage of by the police. So I used to masturbate, you know, so I didn't get in trouble, and I stayed home and worked, and then I saved up a significant amount of assets and all that. This was before I got on ODSP or nothing. Next thing you know, the police came up with some schemes or whatever to try to say I did this, try to say I did that, and they literally just kept home. Well, no, they were ready to kill me because they were stuck on the, well, you got to have sex every night with a woman. No, you don't. I can't afford sex every night with a woman, is what my excuse was. Because you got to go down to the pub, and you got to spend money, and it costs and all that. And I don't have that because I'm saving my money for this, that, and the other. So next thing you know, the ones that have been going and having fun at the pub, and that's bullshit, and they've been doing that to me. And my mom is the same one of them. She's down in Florida right now, and she's not eating right now. She's probably sleeping. But that's what she thinks she's going to be doing down there. Eating all types of restaurants. And then she thinks she's going to come up here and rob me and all that. And that's what these people do. So beware of them. And she gave me all the clues or whatever. She gave me all the clues. But that's what they do. The police, all those people, the judges and all that, they don't give a fuck about you. It ain't nothing about fairness. Because I went in the courtroom, and it was all fairness with me. I said, man, I starved for this one. I didn't even do anything illegal. And all that. And the judge and everyone just spits in your face and smiles at you. You know why? Because they're overeating at every fucking nice restaurant only a kid could wish to eat at, because he's been working for 15 years to be able to go sit down at a restaurant for the fucking lazy-ass police to come over and make a fucking fake case because they're jealous that a hard-working man finally could afford to go to a restaurant and sit down and have something to eat. And maybe a woman might look at him and bat her eye at him. That's no justification for a fake case, robbery and fraud and identity theft and murder and attempted murder. And because guess what? Well, if I can run you around enough times or whatever, then we can prove and show that you're the criminal. And once I can do that, because criminals are like starving Jews or whatever. So all you have to do is make that judge a starving Jew or whatever. And then he's going to try to come shoot you, but that is attempted murder. Conspiracy to commit or whatever. Because we got the FBI, we got the this and that. So you have them acting out a character. That's how I see it, and that's where I'm at now. They're just still acting out a character. I can't believe I met these characters. I mean, these characters were the lowest of the low. These characters are dirtier than my floor, and as people, my floor is quite dirty. And these floors are, I mean, these people is dirty. They're as dirty as the bathroom in Walkerton Courthouse. I mean, that bathroom out front, you can search it up. This place is famous. I mean, it's the Walkerton water tragedy. Now it's the Walkerton urine tragedy. It's like somebody went right into the bathroom at Walkerton Courthouse. I don't know when it was. Must have been back in when? 2017 must have been on or something like that. And he went right in and pulled his penis out and pissed all over the walls. And these were paper walls. I mean, these were white paper walls. And he didn't feel guilty at all. He felt more than innocent until the last couple dribbles. And then I was like, you know what? I said, that's about $800, maybe more in damage, because they owe me $20,000 or something in all this robbery. I said, there's one of your deductions. And I pissed all over that motherfucker. And I never got charged for that either, because they knew what they did wrong. All right, because these people know what they did wrong. Where's my computer that was stolen? They fucking stole my computer I bought in London, Ontario, Canada back in 2012, 2013, when everybody knows I made all my money on PPD, pay per download. I bought like a 4,000, or at the time it was 2,000 Sabertooth Asus and blah, blah, blah. But then I continuously upgraded it. New RAM, new hard drives, new SSD, da-da-da. And then this is John Gotti, who's really a nobody. So I might mind that. Like, he's a fucking fall-off loser or whatever. And I don't fuck with him no more either. He's a fucking junkie. All he does is try to rob people. He's broke. He's a woman, like, women, like they're just pure robbers or whatever. They'll come in your house, eat spaghetti and meatballs with you, and then the next day your door gets kicked in. Like he's still on that shit. Like that shit's from like, in my life, those people are like from like 2010 or whatever. And me and Justin Trudeau are sitting back and we're like, didn't we get rid of these fuckers, you know? And they're like, nah, because we're still here gang banging and all that. You know, like Aim Straight, John Gotti, fucking my mom, Troy Wilson, Showtime, General Beans, the OPPs, the judges and all that shit. They're super gangbangers themselves. And they say that the crime rate has increased by 31% in Canada since they let Justin Trudeau become Prime Minister. Yeah, they let Justin Trudeau become Prime Minister because Justin sometimes thinks that he just ran to the throne. No, that was me that ran to the throne. Justin was sort of just, they let him be. His dad let him be. I mean, Pierre could have put him down or whatever. Pierre never put him down or whatever. Because Pierre wasn't much of a man either or whatever, and that's how we seen it or whatever. He's kind of like one of our weak guys, they're saying. Because everybody thinks Canadians are weak. No, that's just Justin Trudeau's group. And man, whatever. What else are you going to say? No, Justin's pretty strong, actually, I say. But he's really tired right now, and so am I. But that's what I used to say to Justin. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm proud of them, because, man, when they were kids, man, I could have killed them. They were so small. All right? Aiden. You know how they used to say Aiden's name? It was Aiden. Aiden. Little Aiden. Stop making fun of me and all that. He was just this tiny little kid. I could have stepped on him. Same with Jade. Same with Nick. Same with JJ. I mean, ask him how he's doing. Who is JJ? I don't know. He's just some loser that lives in a jail or something. But he's got, I'll tell you what. JJ, he's got power with them women, boy. He does. Especially before he got stabbed in the stomach. Before he got stabbed in the stomach. Now, I don't know who stabbed him in the stomach these days. But before he got stabbed in the stomach, man, JJ was something, they said, you know. I heard he was even shitting in a bag or whatever. But listen, these bitches was so hungry, Tom. They was even eating the shit in JJ's bag. Like he was supposedly some man or something. And when I started to see that or whatever, it was like, damn, buddy. It's like, see, because I never used to even care about no one. Oh, you could pick on me. You could say you were going to do this to me and all that. I don't give a fuck about you because I'm busy working. Not until I met these ones, right? Oh, these men, they don't even have nothing. And they think they're entitled to sex. They think they're entitled to warfare. They think they're entitled to access into people's homes. Like, who the fuck are these people? I rarely see these people. Rarely. But I seen one of them, well, I haven't seen one of these people since 2010. So I order I have a regular pizza. Sometimes it's Domino's. Sometimes it's Pizzaville. Sometimes it's Pizza Hut. Sometimes it's no pizza at all. Giuseppe or something. But I did order a pizza. It was a new one. It was a white pizza. And I didn't take a video of it because it wasn't worth it. It was mushrooms and Alfredo with cheese and da-da-da. Because I don't have to do videos. Videos are kind of like, it's kind of like my leisure. Nobody forces me. Nobody can force me to do anything against my will. That's my business. And what they try to do is, see how I'm talking right now and getting it all out and everything? Well, if you're under slavery or whatever, because I used to be under slavery or whatever. Well, I still is a little bit with his mom or whatever. They try to fuck up your brain or whatever. Where you can't even think, can't even talk. Can't even speak. But guess what? Shout out to the public school system. Because kids that grew up in those homes, they got to go to the public school system. Like me, I hated home. I hated living at home with my dad. All he used to do is touch my bum bum. And he wanted to touch me. He used to ask me, Tom, will you let me put my penis in your bum bum? And he used to say things like, Tom, why don't you start doing this bad thing? And why don't you start doing that? And Nikki and all that. They were big into some shit I wasn't or whatever. escort, they sniff cocaine, smoke it too or something. I don't know. That's why they send them closer to Memphis. They buy their crack from Memphis and their meth from Memphis and shit like that. Or Savannah, I'm not sure. But I know for sure he's drinking a lot of that natural ice. So it wasn't John Slote, because he's known as John Stoll or whatever. So be careful for that guy. He's got this, he's really good or whatever. See, he'll sit there and say like he's got unstoppable reputation and all that, but he don't or whatever, because I'm his son or whatever, and he's John Stoll. He killed his own mother, Margaret Lang, and then he covered it up and said it was ovarian cancer. But I testify I witnessed him stab his mom to death in Hillsburg back in 1990. When was it? No, it might have even been in maybe 1998 or some shit. I remember we just pulled up to the property. My mom's from Guelph. She's like some Guelph junkie or whatever. She used to just walk the streets of Guelph and shit and smoke crack and all that. Anyways, so my crackhead mom, Valerie, she's a super doper, so give her dope and all that. And then Nick, the one with the big space in between his teeth that never made it as a rapper. It all fell down for him and all that. It's because the way he treated people and all that. He had all these people working for him and all that. And then he wanted to have sex with this Tashia weirdo or whatever, instead of making it a big thing. See, we all pulled up at the strip club. I had just came up from Tennessee. And that's why they got rid of him down in Florida. He was like this weirdo. Like, everybody was like working together. We were going on field trips, Universal Studios. Like, everyone was normal. And then there was this guy named the world's drug dealer or some shit. His name was Nicholas Perrin, John Gotti or whatever. He was Florida's biggest drug dealer and all that. Man, he's nothing but bad news or whatever, that guy. Kind of like John Stoll. See, they're all a gang. Joe Biden, they're all a gang. It's John Stoll, it's Nikki Stoll, it's Valerie Stoll, it's Nick Stoll, and it's that fucking area down there where you're getting all the crime at or whatever, so have fun dealing with them. Because that ain't me. My name's Thomas Perron-slote or whatever. I'm not fucking no John Stoll or whatever. Let me explain how he does it to you. He's one of those type of scammers. Like he has to get into the good relationship with you first. Like he's one of them ones. Like he's got impeccable reputation on eBay. I mean, you know why? Because he's one of them ones. He accepts he's one of them ones. Once he gets your address or whatever, he'll show up at your house or whatever, and then he'll get you or whatever. Because he has to build his relationship with you first to fuck with your brain and all that. And that's what he did to me. He stole my... I had plenty of clothes in Tennessee, but everybody knows me as some poor guy that had no clothes. But when it came to the bank and everything, he really did have clothes. It was just because somebody stole it. So that's what that was. I mean, I had the money for clothes. He was just dealing with some fucking guy at home that was touching his bum and stealing his clothes and stole my computer, and he's a known thief. So beware. I guess it's past... Well, I can still tell everyone, but it's past the statute of limitations, I guess now. It's been 12... And they love that statute of limitations, so be careful of that. Like, they'll murk you out, and especially when they're young or whatever. It's a certain thing. They're all ready to do it at one time or whatever. Hey, you ready to do the statute of limitations? Well, let me call Judith or whatever. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it. And then they do it. And then 15 years go by, and that was their big hit, and that's the statute of limitations. They can't press charges. But guess what? You can still testify on camera or whatever as a statement or whatever for the public or whatever, and that's what that is. Like, John stole my camera. He stole my camera. He stole my computer, my PlayStation 3. He stole my sexuality. He stole my fucking weight. He stole everything from me. My girlfriends. He stole my personality. He stole my education. He stole my career. He stole everything. Okay, that's John Stoll. All right, he's a piece of shit. But guess what? It shows in his character. Because watch when he smiles or whatever. It ain't white. All right, it's fucking dirty or whatever. Okay, he don't even have a smile. I mean, if it's completely removed. You know what happened? He walked into a bar in Hillsburg, Ontario, Canada, and he thought he was going to rob somebody. And they smashed him right in his teeth. And then he went down to Florida thinking he was going to rob everybody. His name's John Slote. He lives in just outside of Savannah, Tennessee, right in your neck of the woods. Same with Nikki. And they think they're mafia all the way down to Estero, Joseph Kunkel. The one with the big shotguns on the chopper. That's Joseph. He's big time mafia out there. Watch Joseph Kunkel or whatever. He'll rob you. He's big time. He's known robber or whatever. Robbed me and my dad for our property down. Robbed me for my kinship down in Tennessee. Well, no, he never robbed my dad for the property yet. He attempted a robbery. He did an intimidation on me where I said, Dad, buy the plane ticket. Send me back to Canada or whatever. I'm going to have to hire a lawyer when I'm older. And that's where we're at now or whatever. I'm in Canada and I'm doing well or whatever. But guess what? That's the purpose of this video. I mean, they're going to get on their phones, like I said. So FBI, we got probable cause to tap Joseph Kunkel. We got probable cause to tap John Slote. We got probable cause now to tap Nicole Slote. Hey, fuck, they got probable cause to tap me because I'm fucking part of their family genetically or whatever. And that's fucked up that I was having. But guess what? I knew that when I was in the womb or whatever. Okay? When I was in my mother's womb, I said, fuck. Like she was about to get rid of me. I was about to be aborted. Because I knew what kind of family that I was getting born into. But I said, well, at least I know. I said, well, I know when I'm born or whatever, I'm going to be a baby or whatever. And they're going to abuse me, and they're going to fucking stab me, and they're going to do all types of stuff. And they did. My mom stabbed me in my leg when we went on a, we took a road trip down the United States, and my mom had this disability. And then I knew that when I was in her womb. I just looked too good or something. I looked like one of them rich American friends that I got, you know, with the nice legs and all that. Yeah, that's Valerie Perron-Slote, or Valerie Perron-Herrera, the one they actually let down there. Like, they don't let me in. I'm a nice man or whatever. But they let my mom, and the whole thing is like, everybody thinks like it's the people that don't like our nice American legs and all that that don't go down. But no, the government's letting the opposites in. They're letting the ones that blow off your legs in. And that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. Like I'm a business person. Like I was sitting on my computer working on finger killers. It was everybody else trying to blow my legs off and suck on black people's penises and suck on Arabic people's penises. Little do they know, I'm Arabic too. But that is what happened to you. Some of y'all changed because a lot of them died that had them ideologies. Like a Chandel Roster. She thought Shotty Lowe really was going to take care of her. But no, honey. Shotty Lowe has 9 children. Okay? 9 children of his own. And Shotty Lowe is a black man. And you were white. And you were his hoe. And all they do is rake some leaves with the hoe. And they throw it out. And they threw Chandel right out or whatever. She died or whatever. Like a used up hoe or whatever. But my perspective was like this. It was like, I myself is Shotty Lowe, but no, I'm StacksAMilli. I'm not Shotty Lowe. Currently have 0 children because of this false ideology that people are following. But you could have had children with me. Maybe 1. Hey, maybe 2, maybe 3. Whatever. And you would have been doing good today because I really care about people. And you would have been sitting right there on that couch, and maybe it would have been cleaned up a little bit because you actually did something with your life. You never did nothing with your life. And that's why you ended up worse than a casket, or worse than in a casket. And I can't even believe you people could even afford caskets. Because you happen to have maybe a few men or something that really, really supported you. And man, Shotty Lowe, man, he couldn't even support himself. I mean, that's Carlos something or other from Bowen Homes. Bowen Homes was subsidized housing, Section 8. Chandel Roster owned her own home. She was a rich slave owner white lady. But they chose the wrong path. They said, well, I was a very rich white man too. We owned 15 acres on Cedar Creek Road. But everybody didn't support Tom's citizenship as a United States citizen. They said, go back to Canada, Tom. You ain't shit. Well, they lost their lives or whatever because Tom took out all his investments in America. America was going to be something big for Tom. It StacksAMilli, but it never did. Because you chose Rick Ross and the AK-47s. And you chose the bombs. And you chose Obama. And you chose Afghanistan. And you ended up dead. Most of you ended up dead. Or you're bagging Sleepy Joe. Or you're bagging Donald Trump. And they're spitting on you, really. And no, you know what they're doing? They're trying to blame it on me. Say I'm like the next Osama bin Laden or some shit. No, that was Barack Obama or whatever. It's like, don't fall for these people. I mean, Barack Obama ain't bad. But you got to watch that guy. He's a pure scammer. Barack Obama's like this. If you're above him, you better watch out. I mean, if you're below him, you better watch out. If you're all the way in the gutter, he might help you or whatever. And that's how Obama was, all right? Like, I was in the gutter or whatever. But I remember when I first met Obama, and I was doing all right for myself down in Florida with my dad, John. And we were paying, well, that's how it is with all the American families, right? But not with John Stoll. That's why he lost everything. But man, we had a Mustang, we had a Mazda Miata, we had bird cages. They had everything I had a go-kart. Everybody remembers me in Cape Coral, especially Justin Batdorf. He was famous. He was, oh man, we used to ride around on my go-karts and all that. There used to be girls and all that. Man, that shit is all long gone or whatever. But some people still have their stuff from then or whatever. Because, man, he was the smart ones or whatever. And all that.